We're going to the fifth week of the Iranian war. The United States presents a 15-point plan to Iran, and they reject it. Here's a clip from ABC. Roll it.
There's breaking news on the war in Iran. Iran rejecting President Trump's 15-point plan. Iran insisting there are no negotiations taking place. Tonight, President Trump surging forces to the region, including up to 1,500 troops from the 82nd Airborne. And now even some Republicans are expressing concern tonight about possible American boots on the ground in Iran. Rachel Scott at the White House tonight.
Tonight, Iran flatly rejecting President Trump's 15-point plan to end the war, insisting no negotiations are taking place, despite what the president says.
They want to make a deal so badly.
But Iran's foreign minister today declaring there are no negotiations with the enemy. Iran sarcastically asking if Americans were negotiating with yourselves. Despite the clashing claims, sources tell us the two sides are trading messages, using Pakistan as a go-between. Iran aware Trump's overtures come as he surges military forces to the region. Up to 1,500 American paratroopers from the Army's 82nd Airborne Division now on the way. The president has not ruled out putting boots on the ground. Tonight, even some top Republicans sounding concern.
My hope is that we do not have boots on the ground.
In a new Quinnipiac poll, just 34% of voters approve of how the president is handling Iran. 59% disapprove. Gas prices up more than $1, with the average price of a gallon soon expected to hit $4. That number even higher in some parts of the country. The rising cost of fuel now causing airlines to raise ticket prices. The CEO of United Airlines telling ABC News customers should expect an increase of roughly 20%. And tonight, for the first time ever, the U.S. Postal Service is preparing to roll out a fuel surcharge on package deliveries, probably around 8%. For voters, it's all adding up. That new poll showing only 38% approve of how the president is handling the economy. Another reason the president may be looking for an off-ramp as this war enters its fifth week.
As more troops head to the Middle East tonight, the Pentagon briefing lawmakers over on Capitol Hill, but the top Republican on the House Armed Services Committee sounding unsatisfied, telling reporters we want to know more about what's going on, what the options are, and why they're being considered, saying we're just not getting enough answers to those questions, David.
Rachel Scott live at the White House again tonight. Rachel, thank you.
What's the off-ramp for Trump in this administration? You're going into week 5. They said it was going to take about 4 to 6 weeks. We're in week 5, and this seems like it has no solution. Iran is standing strong. I mean, I know they've knocked out most of their leadership. They knocked out now the guy that's been running the Strait of Hormuz, their Navy general. But where does the Trump administration go from here? Now you're sending troops over there to invade. Now you're going to get us into another war. I just think we're just not very good at regime change. I'm starting to realize that. And the Iraq war, that was caused on the premise of nuclear weapons that were never found. And we went in there and we were 20 years in Iraq, and it was just a complete waste of money. And you had the insurgents and the rise of ISIS. History has shown us that sometimes these regime changes don't really work. What's going on in Venezuela? Don't hear much over there other than Delcy Garcia is complying with everything that Trump wants right now. But what we have to realize is that Trump's going to be out in 3 years. Are they just going to run out the clock and Venezuela's going to go back to how things were? There's a lot of questions with all this strategy when it comes to foreign policy. And I've been a supporter of Trump. I've believed in what he's trying to accomplish, but we need a resolution here quick. We are up against midterms, and then we got the presidential election. He's not up for re-election. And a lot of the stuff that he's done is going to get reversed by the next administration that comes in if Democrats happen to win the White House. So people are hurting. People can't afford things right now. Gas is through the roof. So where do we go from here, Mr. President? Like, what is the off-ramp? Are you just going to claim victory and the regime in Iran is going to stay in place and you're going to continue to have chaos in the Middle East? The Middle East is on fire. Roll the clip here. Roll this clip. Iran attacked again Israel and Kuwait and the UAE. Roll the clip.
Iran lashing out once again this morning as Israel says they've now killed the man in charge of blocking the Strait of Hormuz. Starting in Israel, where we've seen at least 7 missiles targeting the country, including this one striking a car, multiple people injured by falling debris. Israel saying they have just killed the head of the Iranian Navy as President Trump looks to strike a potential deal with Iran. And here in the Gulf, 2 people were killed in the UAE after an Iranian attack. Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait also attacked overnight. In this video from Iraq earlier this week, showing a U.S. base being targeted by Shia militia drones. President Trump says he wants to negotiate from a position of strength, but it is clear, Michael, that Iran is trying to do the same.
They're not backing down. Obvious reasons. And I think they miscalculated this, in my opinion. Again, I go back to nobody knows. Nobody's in the room. Nobody has the information these guys have. So what's the real plan? But they got to, the messaging, I feel like the messaging is a little bit all over the place. We proposed a 15-step plan. Iran says they haven't even had conversations with the United States, in some reports that I've seen, and some I have seen it. It's just it's an absolute mess, and where do we go from here? This war is not going to end next week, so how long does this get prolonged? Are we going to go into the summer with this, right up against the midterms? I don't know. Listen, I have more questions than I do answers or opinions, but I know that this is starting to smell not right. And I don't know what the off-ramp's going to be for the Trump administration, but things are about to get really, really ugly if they don't figure this out quickly. In our economy, which has suffered tremendously, that just basically got out of COVID and was trying to recover from inflation and cost of goods that are up, and a labor market that was suffering. Now we have gone backwards, and then we're up against AI, which is costing a lot of people's jobs. So we're heading towards some really, I hate to say this, but some very difficult times for the United States and the world. And I just think this is just added aggravation by this war. I was in favor of doing this if you were going to get it in and out and remove that regime, and you had good, credible information that you were going to be able to do it quickly. But as it's being shown right now, it hasn't happened yet. And when does it happen? That's the question. There's a lot to answer by this administration. I have more questions again than I do answers, and I want to see how this keeps continuing to shake out. But this doesn't smell right, and I smell something funny, and we'll see where we end up in all of this. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you guys for always supporting.